The objective of this lesson is to multiply fractional side lengths to find areas of rectangles. In previous lessons, students have learned to multiply different types of fractions using model drawings. Students have also been taught that the dimension of the area of a rectangle are demonstrated by using the first factor in the equation as the rows and the second factor in the equations as the columns. We will use this same model with fractions to determine the product of two fractions. The green paint that I need comes in a half-gallon container. I need 1/4 of that to paint a chair, and I have 5 chairs to paint. How much paint do I need in order to paint all 5 chairs? We know that we need 5 1/4 to paint the 5 chairs. We also know that paint comes in half-gallon containers. The fraction multiplication equation is 5/4 times 1/2 equals how much paint I will need to paint all 5 of my chairs. To make a visual model, first we need to make rows to represent the 5/4. Because we have a fraction greater than 1, we will need to draw 2 holes or 2 sets of 4. In this model, the extra force will be crossed out so that the 5/4 we are using to represent the chairs will be easier to see. Next, we will draw in the columns that are represented by the second fraction, or the 1/2 gallons of paint. In this case, we will color the columns we are counting red to make it easier to see. As you can see from our model, 5 boxes are open out of the 8 total boxes. You could also look at this model as you will need 1 whole container and 1/4 of another container. In the next example, the dimensions of a schoolyard are 1/3 of a mile by 5/2 mile. All of it is covered in grass. How many square miles of grass are in this schoolyard? The area dimensions of the schoolyard are 1/3 mile by 5/2 miles. The equation is 1/3 times 5/2 equals 5/6 miles. Let's prove this answer by using the area model. Draw a rectangle and then break the rectangle into 3 rows. Color the top row because we are only using 1 out of the 3 rows. Now we will add our columns. We will need to draw 5/2. In this case, we will draw 6 columns and X out the final column. The area is shown in the colored boxes. We have 5 out of 6 boxes, which will give us 5/6 miles squared. The objective for this lesson was to multiply fractional side lengths to find the area of rectangles. We met this objective by using equations from the word problem and using the first factor in the equation as the row and the second factor of the equation as the columns, multiplying them together to find the product or the inside area.